Hey everybody, how's it going? Today I'm going to talk a bit about the idea of resolutions and New Year's goals and what that means to me, and a bit of my new perspective for the new year. So let's get started. So everyone probably has New Year's goals in a way of these things that are like frustratingly unattainable. I know usually all my goals in the past were always like, I'm going to lose 10 pounds, or I'm going to work out every day. I'm going to eat healthy every day. I'm going to sign up for this, this, and this. I'm going to complete this, this, and this. And then when I didn't do it and I failed to do it, it was like overwhelming. And then every year I do this to myself where I had these really unattainable and sometimes like toxic goals. I think slowly over the years, I've learned to change it into something that is more attainable, something that is more motivating, and things that I have been able to complete. So prior to COVID, I had been someone that for years had just run around like a chicken with my head cut off. I did this since I was in school. Like when I was in high school, I would always be focused on doing my homework, and I do after school stuff. I was like involved with leadership and volunteering and always helping out, always doing something. And it can be a good thing, definitely. And then I started doing this outside of high school. I got a full-time job and I was working, saving up tons of money. And then I decided I wanted to go to school, and I went to an acting program for 2 years. And again, when I was there, was running around, working, performing in shows, going to work, like just constant. And then when I graduated, same thing, working to pay the bills, and then auditioning, being in shows, putting a lot of energy into that and performing, which is great, but I just had no free time ever. And whenever I had a day off or I had time to sit still, I couldn't handle it. It made me incredibly depressed to sit still. And it was almost like all my life I had been trying to create this idea that I was always being successful and always moving forward, because I never wanted to face my childhood traumas and pain, and all that just seemed to seep in. Literally the second I sat still too long or relaxed too long, I literally did not know how to relax. So in 2020, at the start of the year, I went to school, again, just for a shorter time, to get my early childhood education assistant certificate. And again, went to school in the morning, went to work later, maybe did some auditions here and there. And I would leave the house, I don't know, early in the morning, 7, 8 a.m. And I would come home at like 11, sometimes like 12, like super late. Just packed days, packed. And you know what? I was kind of okay with that. And then COVID hit. And then suddenly I got laid off from both my serving jobs. And at the time I had kind of just finished my training. So suddenly I just had all this free time, like a lot of free time. And suddenly I was like, okay, I got to keep busy. I still tried to like keep busy, and I tried to look up auditions for things. I just tried to like go places every day, keep plans going. I did these like Chloe Ting challenges to like get up every day and do that. In September, my roommate and best friend of many years had passed away suddenly. And I had just been offered more nannying work. I had just started some film acting classes. I had just been offered to help assist a director for a socially distanced show that was being done at my school. And I had to stop. I like had to stop for a bit. And I just had to grieve and take that time. And then when I went back to everything, I didn't have the same drive, and I could tell my heart wasn't in it, but I still wanted to complete these things. I didn't want to miss out on opportunities, but my heart just wasn't in it, you know? And then around that same time, actually the week before I found out about my friend passing away, I had gotten results for my ancestry DNA test, and I had found my father, who I had never known my whole life. So this was just an overwhelming time, both of like discovery and all the emotions that could come with finding your father at the age of 25. And then also experiencing my first loss and coming to terms with what death was, and just suddenly being overwhelmed by the idea that death exists and I've never had to deal with it or face it. So it was just an intense time, and I just went into a deep state of healing that I had never really went to. And suddenly I really understood what it felt like to be slow and take my time, and I knew that that was what I needed. It was exactly what I needed. So at the time I turned to yoga and meditation again. I had done it before, but this time I had the patience for it, and suddenly I could realize like how beneficial it was for me to just ground myself. And I would start it very anxious and restless, but by the end I was always very calm and relaxed, and it helped me a lot. I did that. I kept up a little bit with some exercises just to, I don't know, it's good for me. I made sure to go outside and go for walks. I tried to cook good food for myself. I watched a lot of YouTubers that were like girls who lived in cottages and lived very slow, simple lives, and I just really admired them, and I lived vicariously through them. And since then I've kind of like really been into their way of being. In December, I just decided that I really wanted to focus in on family and spend time with family as much as I could. You know, I realized throughout the years that I had pushed the opportunities of hanging out with friends and making friends because I was so focused on getting ahead and going to school and taking opportunities and working, that I like forgot to enjoy my youth and live and be young and relax. And, you know, I'm 25 now, and yes, I have friends, but I don't have a ton of people that I'm close to as much anymore. And I had also not seen a lot of my family over the years. I hadn't spent really Christmas with my family. I had always spent it with my partners. So yeah, it was just, 2020 was like a huge wake-up call, and it just got me to slow down. Prior to this, I had planned to be going back to school for my Bachelor of Fine Arts this year, and I got accepted into the theater program at SFU here in Vancouver. But the theater program accepted me, but the school didn't accept me because my high school math score was like a couple percentages too low. And in the summer I had planned to take the math course, and then I was like, oh, I hate math. And then now it's like my ideas of what I want in life have changed, for at least right now. I used to think I was going to go straight back to school full time and work my butt off there. And, you know, of course that's a goal of mine. But right now I'm just like, I don't know, I'm just so appreciative to be able to slow down again and be able to breathe. And now when I relax, I'm not depressed anymore. I mean, you know, sometimes, but I can relax and enjoy myself and enjoy the day. I have time to see, you know, not really because of COVID, but I have a friend who's in my bubble. I can see some of my family who's in my bubble. I have time to really think about what I want in my life. And something, for example, I realized that I want is a cozy home. All my life I've moved every second year and always settled for something that didn't feel great. And I just really want to find somewhere here in Vancouver that feels like somewhere I can settle for 5 years and really decorate and make my home cozy. And that's just something super important to me. Also, with the break, I had time to focus on my health and slowly learning a way that'll work for me, because fitness and health is always something where I get really motivated for it and then I lose the interest, or it feels too overwhelming, or I become too like body obsessed and it gets really toxic. And I think slowly I'm learning to work out because I feel really good after. And that's the thing, like, even if you wake up and you work out for 5 minutes, you know, you're not going to see like a ton of physical change in your body, I think, for that. But if you just sweat for 5 minutes and do something that's high intensity, you get your heart rate going, you feel so alive, you feel so good, and you go have a shower and you feel awake and energized for your day, and you feel like you tried at something and you pushed yourself a little bit. And so that's like the feeling I'm chasing now, and trying to make it something that's enjoyable. Also this year, 2020, in the summer, I went bike riding more. I spent time camping. I saw my city finally, and finally I feel like I don't want to run away from it. I always want to run away from things, but suddenly you find the parts of your city that are beautiful and the parts that you want to explore, and kind of become a tourist in your own city. I also went camping and I enjoyed nature. I swam in the ocean. You know, obviously 2020 was a hard year for everyone. You know, when COVID affected people in all sorts of ways, I lost my best friend, you know, and that, you know, I can never, I don't know, I still want to say it's a good year. You know, obviously losing someone, life is completely different, but I am definitely grateful for being literally forced to stop what I was doing, forced to slow down. My grandma, when I told her that I was considering going back to school, I asked her, what do you think? You know, should I go back to school for 3 years full time and be in some program, or should I take some time off? What do you think? And she said to me, she says, like, Dahlia, you have been working hard since you were 5 years old. Take a break. And my grandpa, I asked him the same thing. He used to always tell me when I was a teenager, especially, to like do a Nike and just do it. You know, if I had a goal, just go do it, Dahlia. Dahlia, pull a Nike. And so I kept doing things. I just would always be like, okay, I want this. I'm going to go out and do it. And I knew how to get things done. I knew how to accomplish goals. But then I think my grandpa started realizing that I was never around, and I was always busy, and I always had stuff to focus on and do, and it was like I could never rest. There was always something. Now he doesn't say that. He says, go have Dahlia time. Go, you know, relax, enjoy yourself. He's more interested in the idea of maybe me traveling or having a vacation or relaxing and watching TV. Like, that is more valuable to him for me. He's not like worried about me going to university and having some like big career, because obviously, like, everyone realizes that happiness is so complicated. Like, for example, my best friend and roommate, Ashley, who passed away, she had a master's degree in psychology, and I always looked up to her for that. And she had these four high-paid counseling jobs. I think one of them even paid $80 an hour. So she, you know, had decent income coming in. She had lots of work. She was doing something she was interested in. Something was missing for her, and she always wanted to just stop what she was doing and go grab a hippie van with me and take off and take a vacation and leave, or just live in like a traveling van. And it was so much pressure to keep up constantly for her. And I knew she was never really happy with what she had. It was always like constantly trying to like hold everything up. And she was someone who dealt with, you know, some extreme trauma and mental illness that wasn't really properly dealt with. And, you know, aside from all that, she just didn't take the time to take care of herself and also just relax and treat herself in ways that were healthy and ways that like really nourished her soul. And so seeing someone with all these things that society claims are so important, and then watching them crumble and literally fucking die. You know, not to say that happens for everyone, but I definitely don't want that for myself. I really want to be able to enjoy my life, and suddenly the idea of success is different for me. Sometimes it's successful to just lie on the couch and enjoy a show and feel good watching a show. Sometimes it's successful eating a good meal. Sometimes success is having a really good conversation with someone. Sometimes success is just having a shower and getting that done. You know, sometimes it's going for a walk and feeling the sun. Sometimes, you know, it can be so many different things to different people, but it doesn't have to be like we're all robots running around, you know? Yeah, we're not robots. So, with all that behind, 2020's gone, and we're looking forward to 2021. And, you know, either way, every single day is a new chance to start new, and, you know, every second is a moment to make things different and change things. And we just need the courage to get out of our own way. So this year, these are some of my kind of goals. Yeah, my hopes, goals, resolutions for 2021. And I've tried to keep it in a way that will keep me motivated and positive and not discourage me if I don't do it. So this is my little book. It's a book my grandpa got me. I love this book because it was based, to me the image is based on a character I was cast as. The play didn't go through for a bunch of reasons, but I was really into this character, and this image inspired the character, and to me the character was very wise and like beyond our years and had reached enlightenment and stuff like that. And I've had a lot of journals that were obviously for my thoughts, and I put stuff in, but there was a lot of depressing thoughts. And so I used to just seem to write when I was like sad or lonely or just in a bad place. So this journal is specifically for like good vibes, motivation, affirmations, you know, all that. But I really specifically keep it as a positive journal. So these are my goals for fitness. So just keep trying every day. Get up and begin to move, whether it be 5 minutes of yoga or a 5-minute workout. Just, the thing is, once I start, and even if I just say, okay, gonna get up, gonna do this 5-minute yoga video, or I've done the yoga, maybe I'll do 5-minute ab workout. That's it. Once I start, I get into it, you know. But if I tell myself, oh, I'm gonna do a 30-minute workout video, or I'm gonna work out for 20 minutes, it's so overwhelming that I'll just be like, man, I'm tired, not today. So just to start. And even if I do those 5 minutes and I'll be like, not today, you know, whatever. But usually I know that once I start, I get really hyped and I enjoy sweating and I have a bit of momentum to keep going. So, you know, it's just to start, period, something. And do it first thing in the morning. That's just what works for me. I used to work out, you know, later in the day after I had eaten and felt very uncomfortable. So I like to wake up, work out with an empty stomach. It's kind of weird, but I just can't do it with a full stomach. Yeah, and then I know from experience over this past year, I feel so good after any physical activity. I wrote down, I feel powerful, strong, like a warrior, alive, energized, accomplished, sexy, and in charge. I want to keep pushing myself and be excited for a challenge and not like overwhelmed by the idea of failing. I want to do little things like just start adding weights or go for a little bit longer each time, or try a new type of workout video, or maybe, you know, follow some dance videos, maybe bike more, try running, try hiking, you know, just trying things. And, you know, sometimes you try it, you don't like it, it's not for you, but you don't know until you try it. In the summer, me and my partner Winter, we were in Summerland and we found this mountain. I think it's called Giant's Head. And there's like a hike, and we just pulled up to it, and we were on a trip, and we just decided, let's just climb this mountain. And he really wanted to do the hard routine, like the really tough route. And I was like, no, 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 let's just do the easy. And he really was like, no, let's do the tough. And like, it was hard, but it wasn't that hard. And when we got to the top, we're like, wow, we climbed a freaking mountain. Like, I don't know, there's just this sense of accomplishment and this sense that you're powerful. And like, for me, it's just like appreciating my youth and the energy I have, because, you know, one day you're not going to be able to do these things, and that's just the truth. So you may as well enjoy the life you have now. I also wrote down, go for a walk outside every single day. I wrote down like I do with the baby boy that I watch. He's not a baby, he's 2. But when I'm with him, I take him out for walks every time I watch him. And at first I hated it because we go out in the rain sometimes, and it's very rainy here in Vancouver. But suddenly I learned to like, I looked forward to it, and, you know, he'd stop and like touch little leaves, and he'd notice little things, and, you know, suddenly it's like you stop to smell the roses kind of thing, you know, and the fresh air wakes you up, and you go in and you know you've like done your daily walk. Like, I don't know, it's just makes you feel like really invigorated, and it's definitely good for you. And again, just walk around your block. It'll literally just shift your mood. Just something. I wrote down, do yoga as often as possible. Same for exercise. Take rest when needed. So pretty much, because I do take rest when needed, I try to wake up every day and start with the yoga. Once I do the yoga, like I said, I try to do the exercise, and then I usually start with abs, butt, or arm kind of workout. And then usually by the time I've done that, I'm ready to do some cardio. The cardio is a little harder to jump into, but yeah. So that's my resolution for fitness goals. Again, before I used to be so obsessed with weight, never been happy with my body, but trying to slowly just learn to like love this body I've been given. It's not going to change overnight, and maybe it won't change at all. So just enjoy it, enjoy my youth, enjoy my curves. You know, I have someone who loves me just the way I am. Like, you know, what goal am I trying to attain here? Like, that's the thing with beauty. I really hope in the future that girls or anyone doesn't grow up wanting to have a flat stomach or wanting to lose their arm fat or whatever, losing fat. Like, I hope they want to work out and do things to be strong and powerful. And like, I really hope in a way, just those certain curves are slowly seen as like healthy and sexy. And, you know, it means that you have food in your stomach and you can afford food, and like, I don't know. It just definitely doesn't need to be a bad thing. And obviously there's a difference between, you know, a bit of chub and then being obese and it being like a health issue. You know, everyone knows the difference. We all do. At least I think we do. Anyways, another goal is also just like, you know, eating healthy, and again, not forcing it, not trying to do something too intense, but like slowly just incorporating more whole foods, you know, just fruits and veggies, maybe trying a new recipe here and there. Before 2020, I literally did not know how to cook. I couldn't cook like pasta and like simple stuff. And then finally I just took some time to just learn little simple recipes. And I used to order McDonald's and order food out all the time, like all the time. And I was just like addicted to the idea of ordering out food because I thought it was so hard to cook. Now cooking is like really relaxing for me because I kind of know a little bit what I'm doing, but I really enjoy like cooking and preparing and chopping vegetables and stuff like that. And I really enjoy only learning how to cook healthy stuff because I'm so used to eating unhealthy that I really try to enjoy healthy foods and put fuel in my body. So obviously that's a goal. And again, like, you know, if someone offers you a chocolate, I'm not going to say no to it, but maybe I won't buy that in my grocery shop, you know. So slow little shifts of, you know, you take it one step at a time, you take things one day at a time, and try not to overwhelm yourself with this stuff. I wrote down like, don't obsess over vanity, but embrace and enjoy feeling beautiful and self-expression. You know, right now my hair is straightened, but I normally have very curly hair. Again, I got some curves, just a little. And, you know, sometimes I have zits, you know, whatever. We all have our things that we're like obsessed about or seem like a big deal to us. And really, you just got to start embracing this body you've been given and express yourself and enjoy it. So I'm just really trying to do that every single day. So another thing I wrote down is to keep treating myself to the life and things I deserve. Don't second guess that I am worth it, because I am. This is in terms of like kind of spending money on myself and doing nice things for myself. I grew up poor for Canada's standards. My family was on welfare, and I was always used to worrying about money, worrying about paying the bills, worrying about rent from like age 6. Like, so it's been ingrained in me, and I always knew, you know, if there was a school trip for something, my friends would go and I just wouldn't even consider it because I couldn't afford it. If they wanted to go out and do something, I just wouldn't even consider it again. And same for like shopping. If I look around, and I only look around at stores I could afford, and blah, 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 blah. And I'd always just, you know, have stuff from donation bins and secondhand and stuff, which is fine. But it was just always for reasons of lack of funds, right? Now that I'm older, I'm not in the same situation I was in when I was younger. I do have the means to enjoy myself a bit more nowadays. I'm not a poor welfare girl anymore. I'm not rich by any means. I'm not really even middle class, but I always pay my bills. I've never put myself in a bad situation, and I can afford to treat myself a bit. So, you know, recently, like the other day, I went shopping and I got myself just these little jewelries. Like, they're very simple, but they were far more expensive than I've spent on other jewelry. You know, I got myself some new makeup, some new skincare, and I just really want to learn to not be so obsessed with money, because it just can drive you mad and it can ruin relationships. And I just really want to be able to go out and be like, oh, I want to eat out, I'll eat out. And oh, I want to buy that outfit. Does it spark joy? I really like it. I'm going to get it. I'm not going to look and be like, too much for me. I don't deserve that. It's too expensive. So a lot of people work to save money. I'm trying to work to splurge and spend it, because I have been so frugal. And literally my family, I told my mom the other day that I went shopping and kind of splurged on myself, and she was like, good for you. Yeah, go, do it again. Like, splurge some more. And I know all the people in my life wouldn't be telling me this if I wasn't so frugal. So another goal is to be present more and be off my phone when I'm with others. So I'm pretty addicted to my phone, unfortunately, and I check it a lot when I'm bored, when I need company and I'm lonely. Also just because I'm worried about missing opportunities, missing important messages of, you know, someone needing help or something. But when I'm with other people, I really want to be able to be like talking to them, be present. So I want to be able to put my phone away and just not worry so much about it. So I hope that works this year. I also wrote spend quality time with loved ones, do fun shit. So yeah, just like invest some money to go out for dinner with my family, or, you know, go out with my friends. You know, obviously COVID prevents a lot of this, but to just spend quality time with people that I love, because it's important. And like I said, I was running around for years. I only made time for my career goals and school and work, and that was like more important than anything else. And now I've kind of switched things around. I also wrote cuddle, treat cats more. So I have like a cat beside me. You can't see her, but I just believe that your pets deserve so much love. You're like kind of in control of their life. I've had my cat since I was 12 years old, and they are 13 now. They'll be 14 in June, and they're indoor cats. I wish I had like a yard to let them out in and stuff, but we're in an apartment, and I feel always bad about that. So I just want to make sure I give them the affection and time and stuff they deserve. My next goal is attempt quiet time to read with a question mark, because I always think this, I don't know what it is about reading. Once I'm into a book or something, I'm really into it, but I just like, it really takes a lot out of me to like sit still and look at a book. And, you know, people always say reading's so good for you, read, but maybe it's just not for me, and I don't know, but I'm gonna keep trying. I really enjoy getting information off of like YouTube and videos, or just like in-person things. I'm not as into books for information. You know, I don't know if you just need to like force yourself, or if it's just not for me. I don't know. So we'll see. I wrote another goal that I'm doing right now, which is create videos. Don't worry about sharing, just keep creating, learning. If I get super into it, buy a camera or a new phone for my birthday, editing software. So I've always wanted to do YouTube videos or just some sort of video creating. I've always been into it, but I've always been scared because I don't have a big glamorous home. I don't have a big high-tech camera, and you know, just all these things where you watch videos and you just notice the things these people have, and I just don't have that. So like, even right now, I tried to set up the space where it's like kind of okay to watch, but I definitely have a more cluttered older apartment building and just stuff, you know. But you can't be afraid forever. You got to just start somewhere, start messing around, you know. If not now, then when? My next goal is to declutter and get rid of stuff I don't need, stuff that doesn't spark joy, and make room for new. So again, with my childhood being poor and moving a lot, I always wanted to hold on to things. And I kind of became a pack rat. So now I just want to get rid of stuff that I'm not crazy about, you know? So this next one says, find time for art, but don't feel forced to do it. Being an artist or actor is not my only identity, and I'm valuable just as Dahlia. I used to always think I had to do something towards that career goal to feel like good about myself, but you know what? I'm an intricate person, and you know, it doesn't always have to be like the prime focus of my life. All right, another goal is to be kind. Stop being mean or angry just because I'm sad. Learn better coping mechanisms. Sometimes don't say anything until you're calm. Again, sometimes we just learn bad behaviors from our upbringing, but it's not an excuse. Sometimes things can seem a lot worse than what they actually are in the moment. So again, I just need to learn better coping mechanisms, and that's like a huge goal for this year. Another goal is to keep seeing the world, travel more. Now is the time. I had never really been on a proper vacation. I'm 25. Obviously, because of COVID, I can't really do that, but I'm going to save my money, and as soon as I can, I've got a bunch of ideas for trips, and I'm really excited. I would like to do, ideally, like maybe a trip every year, year and a half. So, I don't know. It excites me. I also wrote, embrace/love my body. Don't need to change it. Love it how it is. If it changes from lack of or doing more exercise/healthy eating, cool. If not, I already am blessed. I wrote, I am not perfect. It's okay. I also wrote, indulge. Just embrace life, enjoy it, indulge every day as much as you can. The clock is ticking all the time. Just enjoy it. I wrote, learn to explore, play, create in my interests. Don't be afraid to try something new. I'm someone with tons of interests, mostly creative stuff I'm into. I've loved painting, drawing, singing, dancing, acting, especially. I'm into videos and video editing, so just, you know, just don't be afraid to try something new, and don't have to do it perfectly. Just explore and enjoy it. Learn to be more loving, kind to my partner, family, and friends. And again, I think that's just to deal with stress better as well. I wrote, be present, less on phone. I wrote, ask myself, what would my higher self do? And I think that's smart to keep wondering, what would the best version of yourself be doing? Not what would someone else be doing, but what's the best version of Dahlia doing with this? I wrote, try to meditate once a day. I'll just try. Learn, read books, listen to podcasts, YouTube documentaries, classes to better myself. Enjoy every day. Don't wait to embrace my life. Take a break from social media. Check it for like 10 minutes at the end of the day. Use if necessary other than YouTube. Just less social media. I wrote love fate, an enthusiastic acceptance for what happens in my life. Let life surprise you. Have the courage to delight in life, savor and enjoy. And then I wrote a question that I keep asking myself. Does it spark joy? Anyways, I obviously have more goals, but this is more my realistic goals. You know, I'm just seeking peace and happiness, you know, like everyone else. I'm not going to put goals for this year to lose weight or do certain things. If they come, they come. I hope you enjoyed this video, this little recap of 2020, looking forward into 2021, exploring kind of and reshaping mindsets. But yeah, have a great day, guys. Bye.